It's funny, we often think history is all about big monuments and famous battlefields, but sometimes the most amazing stories are hidden in plain sight, in the everyday places that shape our lives. And every now and then, the story of a single building, a single school, can actually tell you the story of an entire country.
So, how does that even happen? How can one local high school in a pretty small town end up being a perfect mirror for a nation's struggles, its massive changes, and even its greatest triumphs? Well, that's exactly the question we're going to dig into.
Okay, so the school we're talking about is the Aurel Vlaicu Theoretical High School in Breaza, Romania. And this place, it's so much more than just a place to learn. Think of it like a living, breathing archive. It's been a witness to over 100 years of huge social and political change. It's seen it all. Now, the high school itself officially got started in 1951, but the story of education in this town goes way, way deeper. The very first primary school opened its doors all the way back in 1838. So this high school didn't just pop up out of nowhere, right? It was built on this really long tradition of learning in the area. All right, let's talk about the school's actual founding. And like a lot of great stories, this one has some pretty humble beginnings. But wow, it did not stay that way for long. Get this. In its very first year, the high school had just 59 students. That's it. Think about that for a second. A single class. That small group was the entire founding population of a school that would go on to educate thousands upon thousands of people. And this chart just says it all, doesn't it? Look at what happened next. It went from those 59 students in 1951 to 425 in just 8 years. And by 1979, it had totally skyrocketed to nearly 1,700 students. This wasn't just growth, it was an absolute explosion. It just shows you how much people wanted and needed this education. So, as you can imagine, with that many students, they were bursting at the seams. They needed a new home. And in 1961, they got one, a brand new building just for them. This was a huge deal. It was like the school planting its flag, saying, "We're here to stay." But here's where the story takes a pretty dramatic turn. Because as the school was growing, so was the influence of outside forces. The political reality of communist-era Romania was about to crash right into this school and change everything. And this right here shows you just how drastic that change was. In 1978, the school was literally forced to change its identity. It went from a theoretical high school, focused on academics and the humanities, to an industrial high school. Its entire purpose was twisted to fit a political agenda, to churn out workers for state-run factories. And this wasn't just a temporary thing. The school was stuck with this new identity for over a decade. But then, after the revolution in 1989, things started to change. It took a few years, but finally, in 1993, it officially got its name back. It got its soul back. It was finally itself again. And let me tell you, this wasn't just about changing a sign on the building. This was a rebirth. Once the school was free to pursue its real purpose again, it didn't just recover. It absolutely flourished. This was the beginning of a true golden age for them. And this symbolism here, you just can't make it up. In 1991, right in the middle of this transition back to its old self, a 10th grade student named Dumitrescu Alexandru travels to Moscow, of all places, and wins the gold medal at the International Russian Language Olympiad. I mean, talk about a profound statement of excellence on the world stage. And that gold medal, it wasn't a fluke. It was the starting pistol for a long, long run of success. The school just started producing winner after winner at the national level. You see students here becoming repeat champions in subjects from history to tech ed. It became a real pattern of excellence. What's really remarkable, though, is just how broad their success was. It wasn't like they were just a history school or a math school. They were consistently winning awards in everything from French and English to religion and Romanian culture. It just proves they were committed to a really well-rounded, top-notch education. So that brings us to today. What does the school look like now? Well, it's evolved into a modern institution with all the resources it needs to support this incredible legacy and keep it going strong. Here's a little number that I think says a lot. The school library has over 30,000 volumes. 30,000. That number alone tells you everything you need to know about the intellectual firepower available to these students. And it's not just about the books. Today, this school is fully equipped. It's got multiple computer labs, dedicated science labs for physics, chemistry, and biology, a couple of sports halls, and, my personal favorite, it even has its own school history museum, a place to preserve the very story we're talking about right now. But at the end of the day, a school isn't just bricks and mortar and books. It's the people. And the real heart of this school is a dedicated staff of over 50 teachers. They're the ones carrying this torch forward, mentoring the next generation of champions and citizens. So, the story of the Aurel Vlaicu High School is a powerful reminder, isn't it? It shows us that history is everywhere. It's not just in some far-off place. The local school, the library, that old community hall down the street, they aren't just buildings. They're full of stories. Which kind of makes you wonder, right? What history is waiting to be discovered right in your own community?